Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday, the 15th of July 2021. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the numerology guidance cards for today's reading. This isn't a deck of tarot cards. It's a different system. So it's 44 cards and they look at the energy via the numbers. So let's see what they've got to say about this day. Okay, so let's have a look. First, we've got 71, health. 44, environment. And 33, communication. Wow, okay. So 7 and 1 is 8. That's strength in the tarot. And 8 in numerology is about power and resilience and stamina. So here we've got health, we've got the orange and the purple. Orange is the sacral chakra. It's about taking charge of your physical circumstances and your physical body. And the purple here is a connection to source, to spirit. You're able to see things very clearly. It's kind of the color of the third eye chakra. So things that may be causing you ill health or maybe causing you problems, you really are able to see those for what they are. You're able to take charge of them, work through those issues to regain your health or to discover health for yourself for the first time. So that can be emotional health, physical health, spiritual health. 44, environment. First, we've got all this green. That's about authenticity and it's about love. It's the heart chakra. So you're really able to tap into the energy of love. And 44, I have that in my usernames on Instagram and Facebook, Gregory Scott 444, because the way I see the number 4 in itself is structure and security. It's the Emperor in the tarot. But 44 or 444 is, it sounds a bit funny saying it together like that, 444. Okay, so taking divine guidance, so asking the universe basically, what is it that I'm supposed to do with my life? Instead of being governed by self-will and what I think I want and need, what is it that the universe wants for me? What does my higher self want for me? What's ultimately going to be the best thing for my experience here on planet Earth? What do I need rather than what do I want? So you ask for that help and support. You get it in a loving way, and you're able to translate that so that you can shape your environment and that you can take practical action based on that guidance to create the kind of life that you want. It's loving action that creates loving outcome. Finally, 33, communication. We've got the yellow of the solar plexus, so energy, happiness, feeling alive. And 33, 3 in itself is communication and new beginnings. 33 and 333 is about the Ascended Masters working with you. So you have the ability to look at what's going on. You hear your guidance very clearly in a loving way, and you're connected with your ancestors, your guides, your angels, higher beings that want the best for you, and they're communicating, and both cards are saying the same thing really. The communication you get allows you to improve your circumstances because it is loving, and something bigger is reaching out to you, giving you messages so that you can translate those messages into something concrete, into something practical that makes your life experience more loving and more positive. So it's a great day to turn things around, and I think I've been saying that in previous and in recent readings as well. There's really the ability to look at what's going on, to analyze who you are, what your behavior is all about, why certain things are the way they are in your life, and the part you play in those things, rather than being horrified by what you see or being intimidated or frightened by it. You really have the ability to stay calm and to look at it objectively and to say, okay, this is where I'm at. If I want to change something, I now understand why certain things happen the way they do. And I can take charge of my behavior, my environment, the way I communicate with myself, and I can alter that. I can really take a hold of myself in a loving, positive way. That's going to translate into different action. I'm going to behave differently. And that means I have the emotional and physical landscape of my life is going to alter and change. It's going to improve and it's going to look better. So it's a wonderful day to take a moment, and I really don't think you're going to need a lot of time. I think you just have a clear understanding of what's going on for you. And the question is, am I happy with the way things are, or do I want them to change? Can things be more loving? Can my life be more positive? And that's kind of a rhetorical question, because I think for most of us, the answer is going to be yes. We can all have a more loving and joyous experience of life. You're not alone. You're being guided and supported. And it's your clarity and it's knowledge being power and information being the key to understand what is going on first and foremost, and then having the energy to translate that into action, which is going to make your life look very different to what it is now. So anyone who wants to make changes, especially internally, if you're not satisfied with a certain aspect of yourself, if you are jealous or you're discouraged easily, or there are certain things that you know about yourself that you don't particularly enjoy, you feel powerless to change it, ask for help today. You're not powerless to change it because you've got all the supports in the universe available to you. And you're not someone who is destined to play out the same patterns of behavior for the rest of your life. You know, people can change. In my experience, changing is really difficult. When I first got into recovery, I remember saying in meetings, oh yes, I'm willing to change, I'm willing to change. But then, first of all, I had no clue as to how I was actually going to change, or whether I wanted to, or whether it was necessary or anything. And then when I actually did have to change the way I behaved and the way I thought, and still it's an ongoing process. Sometimes I take 5 steps back and sometimes I take a step forward. But the actual changing initially was so hard. There's a play that was written ages ago, I think in the 80s, called Angels in America, and there's a line in it that always stuck with me. It's that change is, it really requires blood and guts. It sometimes feels like it is absolutely brutal and painful. And it makes sense because you are a construct. You know, the way you see yourself, it's been established, it's been there for a long time. Your physical body is used to certain things and patterns of behavior and what you find comfortable and what you don't find comfortable. And that's all, you know, the days have kind of stacked up to create a habit, to create a way of living. And then if you want to change that, it's really on some level a dissolution of that existing identity and personality in order to replace it with something better. And today, if change does seem scary or painful, you're being supported, you're being given this strength and this love and this positivity, and that allows you to overcome that reluctance and that fear, because it promises that if you do alter things, life will and it can be better. So if change does seem daunting and frightening, don't let it put you off. It's really worth doing today. You have this clarity for a reason, and you really can feel a lot better on the other side of this change. That's the promise of the day, that you're worth investing in. Okay, number-wise, let's see, we've got 33 and 44. That's 77. And then 71 is 148, isn't it? I think so. 148, 1 and 4 is 5, and 8 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4, so that's security and structure, and it makes this 444, so it makes this divine guidance that's applicable and easily translated. I just want to look at this another way to make sure I've got it right. So we've got 8 and 8, so strength. If you 4 and 4 is 8, 7 and 1 is 8. So 8 and 8 is 16, and then we've got another 6, that's 22. That's the master number of the builder. Wow, okay, so that's interesting. I just want to double check So 71 and 44 is 115, and 33 is 148. 149? No. Yeah, 48. So when it's recording, I just feel pressure to make sure that I can count and that I don't look like a fool. But I think it is 148. And that is 13, which is 4. But then 6 and 8 is 14, and another 8 is 22, and that's the master number of the builder. Okay, and 22, 2 and 2 is 4, so same thing. Structure and security. So splitting that 4 into the 2 and 2, 4 and 22 are very similar, because 4 is about structure, the emperor, and really being secure, and the emperor in the tarot sits on a stone throne, so it's something that's there permanently and that influences your life for the foreseeable future. And 22 is the energy of the builder that gets you onto that stone throne. It's building something that is structured and long-term, and where the emperor sits on the throne, and once he moves on, then his son or daughter sits on that throne. So it's kind of creating a legacy. So you get both aspects of that. You're able to listen to your guides to build something meaningful that's going to hold you very securely in a loving way. And if you decide to change on this day, you're not going to have to do it again every other day. You know, the example I mentioned with my experience, change being really difficult at times, when I have to change again these days, when I become aware of other things that are problematic and I have to let go of, I always think back to that time, because for me, that was the most difficult thing I ever did in my life, getting into recovery. And when something comes up these days, it's like, well, I already did that, so how hard can this be, really? I survived the blood and guts of change. This is just like a minor little thing in comparison. I'll be able to change this too. So it's not that you have to constantly feel like, oh, you know, I'm brutalizing myself here with the demands I'm putting on myself. It's a process where you're willing to change, and when you do make the effort, it does get easier and life does get better, a lot better. So it's worth doing. It really is. So I hope you have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to order your reading with me. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.